next speaker is Professor Mtuli Ntuli, who is the Dean of the Faculty of Commerce, Law and Management. He's built the business school into a premier global business school and has achieved a point where we're in the top 60 globally as measured by the Financial Times.
I assure you that there are about 100 centers around the world which have been created around the Center of Entrepreneurship here and there, part of entrepreneurship here and there. It's about 100 such centers globally right now. There is quite a bit of growth around the world in terms of entrepreneurship education. If you look at in the core education sector, at the high school level, because of the outcomes-based education which was introduced in 1995 in South Africa, we're seeing a curriculum emerging there that emphasizes entrepreneurship within schools. I mean, here at the business school, we're launching a new master's program next year called Entrepreneurship and New Venture Creation. There's huge interest in the program, so we're doing something about that. But of course, I must say that this is quite scholarly. So we find the curriculum will be 50% coursework and then 50% research. But also, we're trying to use this as a bedrock, as a foundation for launching, creating a foundation for a PhD program. Universities are a key component of a global city region. For instance, WITS is a key component of what the Gauteng Enterprise Development Agency is trying to do, turn Gauteng into a global region, and universities are really part of that. Certainly, entrepreneurship, any entrepreneurship that investors promote is critical to creating that regional economy. Because it's quite obvious that if you look at the GEM report, for instance, it's quite clear. The bulk of entrepreneurship activity in Sub-Saharan Africa is around opportunity entrepreneurship, rather necessity entrepreneurship as opposed to opportunity entrepreneurship. And the idea behind these courses is to make sure that you can have the emergence of opportunity entrepreneurship. But within the WITS university itself, you're beginning to see again the emergence of these elective courses and extra courses around entrepreneurship. South Africa Startup Index is going to be officially launched. This is the pre-launch commercial. It's going to be officially launched on the at least 22nd of November this year, the next month. And the idea here is really to, as I say, to create an entrepreneurship ecosystem or to facilitate the creation of an entrepreneurship ecosystem. The idea is this: is that you go to the South Africa Startup Index as the pre-alternative market listing platform, and then companies then will develop and migrate to the alt-X alternative market, and then eventually migrate as they grow bigger, more successful, more sustainable, into the full board, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. So the index then is going to fulfill this function to identify basically those companies that are ready to move up in scale the ladder. One is just to make sure that you create markets for a company, or rather the market is understood, access by visibility and engagement with the market, is to make sure that the company can create or has access to networks locally and globally. But the idea also is to make sure there is collaboration that emerges between any support system to a company, whether it's through a university or industry or indeed a government. Those are the three objectives of an ecosystem. So SASE fills that role prior to alt-X. But this is what is really exciting for us. This is South Africa Startup Index. That's what we have created. But I should take this opportunity to introduce Friedel Jacobs at the back. He probably has to wave. He's been really worked hard on this project. So it's real time, it changes every day. Also intraday, changes intraday. So the idea is, again, we track companies, particularly those who have received funding from something like the DTI here locally, or an IDC, or so on, because they've received capital. There's an expectation. You've got investors in there with something to lose. It is value in tracking these companies and ranking them and rating them. You can create a whole lot of followership on the company. Whether you're a customer, angel investor, you can follow that company. You identify yourself as to who you are, and we can track the amount of followership on this company. So this is really the crux of the matter. The other thing is to be able to upload information on patents out there in universities, starting with VICs, for which we think there is potential commercialization value in them. To a summary of the patent and so forth, and create a separate section just for patents only and IP that can be commercialized. And the idea then is to be able to invite people who are good at commercializing IP stuff to do something about it. And then the other thing is to develop such an index for every country in sub-Saharan Africa. That's very ambitious, but we will start. We'll have a go at it, but to make sure that it grows and each country will have its own ranking. On that note, thank you very much.